Sorry about that. Forgot to put on the countdown timer. All right, let's see. Come on. Come on. There we are. I'm not going to have the light on because it burns my eyeballs, and then I have to go to sleep after this. Yes, it's 2 a.m. Yes, my sleep is terrible. The other week I went to some club. It was trying to be like some Berlin club. Music all night. Ruined my sleep. Absolutely ruined it. Should we do something? Zoom in? I think last time we were pretty zoomed in. I don't know if that matters. That's a little too zoomed in. Yeah, so how's everyone doing? Is everyone living their best lives? Yeah, that's a little too zoomed in. I think no one wants to see all the fucking little indiscrepancies in my face now, do they? Now it doesn't work. What joys. Oh, there it is. We'll make it like that. I think that's fine. Okay. All right, it's Tuesday night, actually Wednesday morning. It's June 3rd or 4th, wherever you are. We got to talk about Medellin. So last night we talked about Bangkok. Bangkok, the city of love. A lot of love in Bangkok. A lot of raunchy sexual appetites there as well. So I did something today. I've been using Claude, which is a new AI. And I actually bought this one for a month. It was $20 because unlike ChatGPT, it doesn't give you much to work with in terms of the free. It'll give you like a few prompts, like 3 or 4, but then it wants money. So I've been using Claude. I just want to compare and contrast to ChatGPT. It's a little different. It's a little more like straightforward. ChatGPT tries to be all like, I don't know what the word is with its writing. It tries to be a little too cringy sometimes of how it writes. Claude is more straightforward. Like, look, I told it to make a simple Bangkok article using my information I gave it, and it said, "Money, Bangkok is cheap as fuck." Now that's not enough info. I gave it way more info than that, but you can kind of see how it can make things really basic. So I'm going to say it's too simplistic. Give more detail that I gave you. So this is an AI, Claude. It's made by Anthropic. Costs $20 a month. So it's this one, ChatGPT, Gemini, Meta. There's all these AIs. They're always getting stronger. Now let's see what it says when it comes to money. I'm interested in see, now it's giving a lot more. I'll have to edit it though. I was rambling too much last night incoherently. Let's say hello to everybody. Looks like iWalk NYC just went live. He's walking the streets. Good for him. He'll be walking those streets until the day he dies, I think. Okay. Wool on the Run. Disco Sleep Disorders. I know them well. Yeah, it is really bad. Those thumping beats. Those late night lights. But that's how you meet people here, I guess. Do you miss New York, the center of the universe? Not really. Because I know what it actually is. There's no more. Once you live there, because if you guys have only like passed through for a couple days, maybe you did a week max, there's a big difference in living there for a week versus living there for like the 3 months or whatever I did. Because when you're only there for a couple of days, there's like this magic to it. Like there's this, it's like, oh, this big crazy city, and there's so much to see. And you try to see as much as you can, but you never can see all of it. When you did what I did and you walked every day for hours, for months, I literally saw everything. Besides, like, the intimate things, like all the restaurants or shops or whatever. Like, of course, you can't really see all that. Um, but I saw that it didn't have much life to it. The real streets did not have much life to it. It was kind of dead. And it's June right now. June was pretty dead there. All the people with money are in the Hamptons. Moyne went live. Oh no, it was the NYC walking show, I think. Yeah, NYC. I walk NYC. I think he threw in the towel. He threw in the towel, I think. Hi, Peter Wind. You still in Oslo? Yes, I am. I am still in Oslo. I will be in Oslo until late June. Then I will depart. As I said in the last stream, I am battling the Swedish guy. He has a car. I'm battling him to get to do a road trip so we can see the rest of the country. He's in Karlstad now. I don't know why he's in Karlstad. I'm saying, come over back to Norway. My friend just arrived in Helsingborg. My American friend who turned European. I don't think he's liking it too much. It's small. There's a lot of immigrants. A lot of immigrants. He's not loving the vibe of it, I think. He said the vibe of it is almost like, he said, like nostalgia. Nostalgia is like a good, cozy vibe. The vibe he's getting from Helsingborg is like the opposite of nostalgia. It's like a nasty, weird vibe you want to run away from. While nostalgia, you want to chase nostalgia. So I'll probably visit him. But we're thinking Aarhus. Look where Aarhus is. It's in Denmark. Because I've already been to Copenhagen. I don't know if you guys saw the live stream, and I like Copenhagen. But Copenhagen is another big city. It's another capital. It's going to be hard to find decently priced accommodation, especially in the summer. The Danish people know people are paying top dollar. Like, they fucking know. So I think the cheapest I could get is maybe 1,800 USD a month. That's what I'm thinking for July and August. But Aarhus over here probably gets like 1/10 the amount of tourism as Copenhagen. Like, it probably gets so much less. So you got to take a train, train all the way up. It's about a 300K pop city, so not like super small, but not really big. And that's where we're thinking on going. We're going to Aarhus because, I don't know, I've been in the capitals this whole time. Maybe it's time to go to a small city that looks nice. Okay, let's say hello to everybody. Hello, Gigi. Hello, Peter. Have you tried Perplexity AI? No, I haven't. I have not. Hello, Tom. Hello, Jill. Hello, J. Kim. Hello, Jeff. Hello, Tommy. Hello, everyone else. I don't think Linda. Linda always comes. So, yeah, I paid for Claude. Claude specializes in programming, actually. That's like its strong suit. It's really good at programming. It actually made me a website page in HTML. Yeah, it made me this. This is kind of like what I need my website to look like. So if I could made this in like a couple minutes with some prompts, it's pretty crazy, honestly. Like, Claude is going to be the thing that destroys programming as like something people, as people learn, because it's getting stronger. They just released Claude 4. So yeah. So no point in learning programming because Claude can do it for $20 a month. It's over. It's over for the programmers. The world's not as fun as it used to be. That could be a... Claude can make me an article about that. Okay. Let's talk about Medellin. Let's start talking about it. Docs. There we go. So who here has been to Medellin? Has anyone here been to Colombia? Let's start with Colombia. Colombia is the exact opposite of the freaking Nordic countries, I swear. In Colombia, well, we'll say in the Nordic countries, there's lots of rules. People are kind of uptight. People aren't social. You know, it's very clean, orderly, but it's kind of boring. Colombia is the exact opposite of that. Because Colombia is, if you guys want to see where it is, it's the top. It's right here. Colombia, there's not many rules. Colombia is a pay-for-play type place. If you got money, you can make things happen. You got money, you can bribe officials. You can get what you want. You can get women. You get substances. Doesn't matter. There's no rules in Colombia. There's street dogs, street vendors. There's crime. There's madness. They have a phrase called... I don't remember. Something about a papaya. There's something about the papaya. And it translates to don't take papaya or something. It basically means if you make yourself an easy target for something to get stolen, like you're in a cafe, you're on your laptop, and you go to the bathroom and you leave your laptop out, there's a 99% chance that shit is going to get stolen. Because you made it easy. You can't just leave your laptop out. Don't take papaya. Actually, let's Google. Papaya term stealing Colombia. The AI will know what it means. Claude will know what it means. What's the term for papaya stealing in Colombia? Claude will know. It is dar papaya, I guess. It means to make yourself vulnerable, give someone else an opportunity to take advantage of you or steal from you. See, it's confused because it thinks I'm talking about the Bangkok article. Dar papaya. Don't make yourself vulnerable. That's your first lesson if you're going to travel to Colombia. No more texting with your phone out at the street corner because you're going to get robbed. Two Venezuelan guys with a scooter, they're going to hop off. And then once you look up from your text or whatever you're browsing on Instagram, a guy's going to have a knife or gun pointed at you. And you're going to give your phone away and your watch and your wallet. And then you're probably going to rage quit Colombia. Because let's be honest, if that happened to me, I would rage quit. I would be out so fast. Hello, Tasso. Hello, Steve. Hello, Debbie. Debbie, you going to Colombia anytime soon? I'm starting off with the bad stuff, though. I'm talking about the worst part about Latin America is it's got a crime problem. I don't think they're ever going to fix it, honestly. It's gotten better over the years. But, where did we go with that? Okay, so let's talk about Medellin. To give you an overview of Colombia, it's a pretty decently sized city next to Venezuela, which is not doing too well. In fact, there's been a lot of Venezuelan refugees coming in for the last, couple of years. I think right before COVID it started happening. Venezuela's a mess. I don't think they even have an economy at this point. So they've been streaming in, and honestly, Venezuelans are like kind of the same as Colombians in my eyes. They're kind of like the same race. They speak the same language, the same accent, I think. They have the same values. There's not much difference to me. To me, as a gringo, there's not much difference. But if you ask a Colombian, they're going to say, oh, there's a whole world of difference. But to me, they're kind of the same. They look the same. Same genetics, racial makeup. To the south, we have Ecuador. I don't know much about Ecuador. I don't think they're as similar as Colombians and Venezuelans are. They're like a little different. Then you got Peru. But I think it's all like thick jungle here. So it's not like Peruvians are just walking into Colombia. Like, it's all thick Amazon jungle down here. You know, you're hacking your way through the freaking forest, and there's anacondas. Then you got Panama, and the same thing. There's this massive forest where it's so dense there's no road. You can't drive through. You have to take a boat or a plane. So good luck with that. This is what it looks like. No road going through that. There's dogs. That dog's probably got rabies. Ugh. So that's the geographic location. We'll talk about the cities. We'll talk about Bogota. It's the capital. I've been there for like a month I was there for 2 months. It's kind of a shithole. I wouldn't go back. It's kind of cold too. It doesn't have like a good energy to it. Medellin, which is what this article we're going to be talking about. I've been to Bucaramanga, which is like a smaller version of Medellin. And here's the coffee country, Manizales, Pereira, Armenian, and Bagay. This is coffee country. I almost went here, but I didn't. Apparently, it's pretty nice. Then you have the coast, and the big city on the coast is, well, the big tourist city is Cartagena. So most tourists are going to Cartagena or Medellin. I've never been to Cartagena. It's hot as hell. I think there's a lot of prostitutes and people trying to sell you shit, and it's dangerous. But I think it's pretty nice. Like it's got like good Caribbean beach vibes to it. Anyways, what's the population of Colombia? 52 million. Population of Medellin is 2.4 million, and let's look at the metropolitan. The metropolitan is 3.7, so it's a pretty big city. Metropolitan 3.7. It's in a valley. That's like the cool part about it. So in its location, it should be a very hot place, but because it's up high in this valley, Medellin elevation, it's 1,495 meters in above sea level. So that's close to 5,000 feet. It's pretty high up. So instead of being scorching hot, it's actually kind of the perfect weather. And that's why they nicknamed it the Ciudad de Primavera Eternal. I forget what it is. Which translates to the city of eternal spring. What is that in Spanish? Who speaks Spanish here? Where's that guy from Puerto Rico? Michael Franco. Oh, La Ciudad de la Eterna Primavera. There you go. That's the sexy version of it. So the weather's always good. Medellin weather. It does, you can kind of see it, you know, gets a little hot. Looks like it's going through a little rain this week. The rainy season. Medellin has perfect weather, but it does have a rainy season to it. The only place I've found that has better weather than Medellin is San Diego, where it rains like twice a year. But as you can see by the weather, it gets hot enough for kind of like you to chill by the pool and get some sun and it'd be nice. And maybe you need air conditioning. If you're on the ground floor, you don't need air conditioning, but if you're in a high rise, you're going to need air conditioning. But you can see at night it gets kind of cool enough where you can kind of wear a shirt and jeans and it's nice. Let's look at Google. So this is what it looks like. Again, it's in a valley. All of Latin America kind of looks the same with the buildings, I think. But this is unique because it is in a valley. So we're going to look at El Poblado first. This is the nice area. It means the town in Spanish. El Poblado's got all these high rises, and they're pretty nice. They all have like a pool on top. They might have a gym. They're not like ultra modern, but they're not old either. And yeah, they're pretty nice places to live. You know, there's tons of Airbnbs. A lot of gringos live in El Poblado. So if we go on the map, this is Medellin. You can kind of break it up into a few parts to make it a bit easier. But this whole thing is Medellin. This is the 3.7 million. Up here is Bayo. Bayo is like a shithole. Don't go there. You'll probably get robbed. It's not like the worst area, though. But definitely don't go to Bayo. Bayo kind of ends right here, and then you kind of get into Medellin proper. I've never been to any of these areas. So basically how it works is the center area is kind of the better area, and then up here is the ghettos. They call it the barrio. So let's look at the barrio. That's what the barrio looks like. There's not much money in the barrio. There's not much order. There's not much law and order. I think if police go in there, they might get shot, you know. The thing about the barrio, though, that's kind of funny is they have the sickest views. Everyone in Medellin has good views. Even the people who live on fucking $100 a month or whatever, they have sick views. It's awesome. Because it looks like that, you know, at night. Let's see if we can get a night view. So it kind of looks like this at night. It doesn't even look real. This is what the barrio has. They have this view every night. They're probably sleeping on a straw bed. They have a sick view. Medellin has insane views. And it's insane views you can get for cheap. You can get for like $1,000 on Airbnb. You can get like a Medellin Airbnb view. You can get a place like this $1,000 a month. It's really good. Insane value. That's why tons of gringos are going there. Let's check the chat. Where is the nearest beach? People want to know about the beach. Remember we were talking to my boomer neighbor about Colombia, and they thought like Medellin was near the beach. Where's the beach? It's not near the beach. Because we're in a valley. You see this? We're in a valley. The beach is pretty far away. It's like a 7-hour drive away. Up here's the beach. Or Cartagena is where you go for the beach. Or Santa Marta. There's no beaches in Medellin. Debbie, I'm sorry to say. Medellin is all pools and views. No beach. I'm not a beach guy, though. You get sandy. You get sand in your wherever. That whole thing. There's seaweed. I don't like it. Just give me a pool. Wasn't Medellin the hub of cocaine traffic? Yes, it was. It is where Pablo Escobar operated. And like I said last night, that's why Colombia has actually been quite cheap in these recent years, is because the boomers are all afraid. Because the boomers have all the money. They're all afraid of, Pablo Escobar, cartel. So they buy up Costa Rica and wherever. But now money's going into Medellin because people aren't afraid anymore. They realize Pablo's gone. I think Pablo operated over here. I think I used to live over here too. Probably used to be gunshots every night. People getting killed. Just madness. Anyway, El Centro's over here. It's like, I guess, the center of the city. It's a shithole, though. Don't go to El Centro. There's this other area called Lorales, which is kind of the nicer middle class area. This is like, after El Poblado, this is like the second choice for most gringos, expats. See, it's kind of like not really high-risey. It's more, chill, I'd say. There's more restaurants. That's Lorales. So most people, their first time they're in Medellin, they go to El Poblado first, which is down here in this area. Also near this area is Parque. Where is it? Parque Lieres? Here you have a heart at Sol Apartamentos, because I actually stayed here. It was quite nice. Really nice place, actually. Sol was nice. And the problem is, I had a friend that loved Sol so much. Every guy he fucking met, he would wholeheartedly recommend Sol. And I swear to God, because of this guy, he told so many people about how good Sol Apartamentos is. The demand went up, and now it's like expensive there, and it's hard to get a place for a month. It freaking went up. There's Sol. That was a good place. Okay, where is it? Parque Lieres. Parque Lieres. Is that a prostitute? This is kind of like a seedy nightlife area. There's a lot of hostels, a lot of gringos here. A lot of bad stuff going on here. But it's not like super dangerous. Like, I've walked around at night here. It's kind of a fun area too. That's Parque Lieres. So Parque Lieres is next to El Poblado. Again, El Poblado is kind of the area with all the high rises, and it's kind of nice. As well as you have an area up here called El Tesoro, which I'm trying to find. El Tesoro is very nice too. It means like the treasure or something. So it's in El Poblado, I guess. There's El Tesoro. Very nice area. That's where like the rich Colombian people live. So the gringos kind of live in El Poblado. The richer Colombians live in El Tesoro. So the main mall in El Poblado is called, where is it? It's like Santa Fe Mall. There we go. This is your main mall. It's pretty nice, actually. It's like a legit mall. It's funny because like in every like country, even the poor ones, the mall is always the nicest thing. Like the mall anywhere is freaking nice. Even in Russia, the malls were nice. All the other architecture is like this old shitty Soviet architecture, but the mall is nice. Even the poorest countries have nice malls, because that's where the consumerism is. So you can kind of see that looks nice. Like they celebrate Christmas. Of course, Christmas is hot because it's Medellin. All right, any questions? Have you been to Cartagena? Is your brother still there? Yes, he is. He found a cheap place for like $400 a month. I think it's like a ground floor place. It's not very nice, but he's happy because he's not spending a lot of money. And he gets food delivered from Rappi. Rappi is what they use in Latin America. It's like the Uber Eats of Latin America. RAPPI. Cheap Rappi. Get the food, eat the food, sleep. $400 rent. Work on the computer. That's his life. Do a little workout. Hello, Vinny. Tyke says Latin America, nice. Where are the emeralds? Are you going there? I've already been there twice. I don't think I'm going to go back. Let's see if I missed anybody. Hello, Patrick Francis. Unhinged in South America. Okay. Let's keep going. Hello, Jeff. It's good to see you. I am not writing in my frickin' my document, whatever. I'll do it later. So this main thing is Medellin. Down here is you have two areas called Envigado, which is kind of like another middle class Colombian area. It's decent. It's more chill, not that many gringos. Most of the gringos are in El Poblado and Lorales, which again, over here and over here. Those are gringo areas. Outside of that, not that many gringos, like Envigado, not that many. And then Sabaneta is another decent area. I actually stayed there. So that kind of makes up Medellin, is all these areas. I've done some hiking. There's good hiking. One I did was right over here, which I think I do have pictures and videos of. It was called Hike de Les Tres Cruces. This was a great hike. Look at that view. It's a crazy city, man. They don't have cities like this in Europe, by the way. Like, this isn't even the capital. It's this big, crazy city. I'm in these Nordic countries, man, and like even the capitals are just like small and quaint in a way. They don't have 3.7 million people as their second biggest city. The second biggest city in Norway is like Bergen, which goes down to 200K. So it's close to like what, 15 times smaller. So there's the three crosses. It's called the Hike of Three Crosses, and it was quite good. It's pretty sick, honestly. Made me feel like a man. Made me feel alive. Like the nature beauty in Latin America is freaking crazy. Like there's so much potential there, which is why whenever I like read about the immigration, like oh the people are coming across the border, I'm always thinking like this is where they're coming from. Like yes, there's not as much tech or finance or opportunity, but like the nature beauty here is insane. And these people are moving to like Ohio. Like what does Ohio have? It's flat and boring. It gets cold. They're going to like upstate New York. Look, there's a cow just eating shit. It can just do that all year round. It's nice all year. There's just fruit growing everywhere. There's coffee growing everywhere. Things just grow. They got animals. No animal wants to be in Ohio. It gets cold there. No one likes waking up in the cold. Not even those things. Whatever those are. That's the only hike I did. There's a few other ones. They also have like they have like a gondola thing you can take up. There's also one of the big tourist things. I never did it. It's like Medellin Barrio Tourism. Comuna 13. There we go. Looks like a Comuna 13. Comuna 13 is it's like a barrio, and a barrio is a slang word for basically it's the hood. But Comuna 13 they made nice, and they successfully made it into like a tourist place where there's all this graffiti, and there's a bunch of gringos go to look cool and cultured, and you know the people make money from the gringos, so it's kind of it's like a good vibe. It's like a good mutual thing going on. That's Comuna 13. So where is that, by the way? Okay, it's up here. It used to be where Pablo Escobar was operating. I think San Javier was where Pablo Escobar. Let's ask, where was Pablo Escobar's headquarters in Medellin? Was it San Javier? They were not. They were... Okay. Maybe we'll say it different. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. All right, what should we talk about next? I'm not really going off my thing here. Let's talk about the English level of Colombia. Colombia does not have good English. You're going to have to learn Spanish. It's non-negotiable. Now, in hotels and maybe like some restaurants in the gringo areas, there might be a little English. There might be some English menus. They're going to help you out a little bit. But off the beaten path, no. The people like speaking Spanish. They don't want to learn English, I think. Even if there's opportunities, they don't want to learn. This is how my friend put it. They don't want to learn your gringo language. They want to speak Spanish, even though Spanish is a European language. But you know what I mean. They're proud of Spanish, and they think it's better, I think, and they don't want to speak English. They want to speak Spanish. So luckily for us, Spanish is pretty easy to learn, even though I know a little retard Spanish to get by. So you got to learn a little Spanish. And they speak Spanish fast. Yes, it's annoying. Do they speak Spanish as annoying as the Spaniards in Spain? No, it's a little better. It doesn't have that lispy sound to it, that whatever's going on with that. So get your Google Translate ready if you're not prepared. What should we talk about next? Colombian food isn't the best. When it comes to the Latinos, the Mexicans have the best food by far. They're really the only ones doing it good, I think, is the Mexicans. The Mexicans have good food, and that's why you'll see Mexican food even in like Oslo, you know, because it's good. It's up there with Italian and Japanese. Colombian food isn't that good. It's like rice and beans and chicken cooked to hell. A lot of fried food. It doesn't have really much soul to it. It's like empanadas, like fried bullshit you don't want to eat. Fried in seed oil, of course. In fact, Medellin was where I kind of like really started to hone in on the seed oil thing. Because I got a steak at this restaurant. And a steak is good for you. And this is just at the time when my friend was talking to me about the seed oil thing. And I ate that steak, and afterwards I kind of felt like garbage. I didn't feel horrible, but like something was going on in my body that it didn't like. And I think it's because they doused the steak in shitty seed oil of some sort. They love seed oil in Latin America. They love it. They're not using olive oil like the Italians or sometimes the Spanish, I think. They're not using butter. They're using this shitty seed oil. And yeah, that's like when I kind of put it together, I'm like, yeah, they use something in this because steak's a pure thing and it caused it to be bad. So yeah, but it is a big enough city where you can get sushi. It's not going to be great sushi. It's going to be like weird Latin America style sushi. Yeah, you can get whatever food you want. You can get hamburgers, Italian food. They kind of got everything. Is it going to be amazing? Like, is the Italian food in Colombia going to be like that of New York City or Italy? No, but it's going to be close enough. And like I said with Rappi, you can get anything ordered from Rappi. It costs like $1 more. You got cheap human labor on their scooters driving breakneck speeds through the traffic to bring you your Colombian American style cheeseburger. So congratulations. What else should we talk about? I know people probably want to hear about the woman and the drugs. But we'll get to that last. Hold on. Sorry. Where was I? Let's go back to the chat and say hello to the chat. Hello, Joe. Hello, Jeff. Hello, PG. Hello, Jill. Oh, Jill knows Spanish. Cow, what else? Can I ask a finance question? Go ahead, Jeff. You can ask whatever you want. It's a free environment here. That's true with the malls in Pucallpa. Where are you from, Tyke? I don't know where that is. I'm in the Keys right now, says Debbie. Oh, she's in the Keys. Congratulations, Debbie. All right, we're all caught up. Salud. Let's see what else is there to hit on. Okay, we can talk about the visa. The visa, you get 3 months, which is really good. 3 months, if you're American, you just come on in. Nothing, no visa or whatever. Free visa. And if you extend, an extension costs like $20 or something. I forget. You extend online, you get another 3 months. You get 6 months stay. Really nice. Although there is a rule. You can only do 180 days out of the year. So if you do 6 months at the same time, you have to leave the country for the rest of the year. So there's a 180-day rule total. So that means you could do it how you want. You could do 3 months, fly out of the country, wait a couple months, then 3 months, come back in. It just can't go over 6 months. That's the rule. So Latin America is pretty good for digital nomads because it's like, that's a lot of time. Like 6 months in one spot, you're almost like living there at that point. And what's cool is that you could go to Brazil. Brazil's the same thing. 3 months, you can extend 6 months. As a digital nomad, if you really like Latin America, you could do 6 months Colombia, 6 months Brazil, and just kind of hop between the two. Maybe if your money situation is good, you can buy real estate in both places. So now you have an actual home you can go to. Like if you really love Medellin, and let's say, I don't know, you really love Rio de Janeiro, Florianopolis, like you've decided that these two places are where you want to be forever, and you can just leapfrog back and forth. They're both pretty cheap. You can buy real estate in both places, set up actual homes there, and like once you start getting bored of Brazil, you can hop on over to Colombia. Don't need citizenship, don't need residency, just totally on tourist visas, you can do this. Of course, the boring part about this is they're both kind of the same. Like, okay, in Brazil, they speak Portuguese and the people are a little different, but it's still Latin America. It's hot, it's dangerous. It's kind of the same vibe overall. I think the more ideal thing to do in this regard is have Colombia be your winter destination. You know, you go there in November and you leave in, I don't know, April. And then your summer destination is Europe, because Europe sucks in the winter, but it's pretty good right now. The sun's shining, it's beautiful. So that's what most digital nomads do. They either do a Latin America winter or a Southeast Asia winter. And usually the summer could be, you know, either Europe or maybe more northern Asia like Japan or Korea if you're really an Asia-phobe, Asia aficionado. Or you could, you know, dare I say it, even come back to the great USA for the summers. Be a patriot, you know, come back. Maybe Ohio in the summer ain't too bad. You can go to the Hamptons if you really want to, which is the polar opposite of where a digital nomad would go. Trust me. So where would you guys go? If you have a decent amount of money, you got a remote job or a remote business, Where would you go? Where would be your summer and your winter? That's actually a good article idea. I need to write an article about that. I'll write that there to remind me. Hey, PG says, nice road trip. Puka is the Peruvian Amazon, but I'm not from there. Where are you from, Tyke? Which country do you pay taxes in? The U.S. Pay it in the U.S. The whole tax thing is like, that's kind of like upper level stuff that I don't really do. I'm not really well versed in that, unfortunately. But America does double tax you, I believe. So a lot of these European countries, like if you're out of the country for a certain amount of time, I think at least 6 months, and you live here, you don't have to pay taxes here. They don't care. You'll have to pay taxes in this country, I guess, is how they do it. But America always wants a piece. Doesn't matter where you are, they want a piece. They want to milk the cows, so to say. And this is also almost brings up a whole nother topic of denouncing your citizenship. It's a whole nother topic. When COVID happened, a lot of people were leaving, and guess what they were doing? They were denouncing the citizenship because they were still getting taxed in the U.S. And if they permanently leave, they permanently move, why would they want to pay tax to this country when they're not getting any benefit from it, you know? The country's spending too much money on bombs and missiles and just stupid shit. If I'm living in freaking Argentina and I move there permanently, I get the citizenship, whatever, you want to sever yourself from this. But the United States doesn't want you to do that because they want to milk you. They need tax money to fund the wars, fund all the bullshit, the immigration or whatever. So when people leave like that, that's very bad because they need to milk you, man. So what they did was, I think they made it really hard to denounce. They made, like, you have to pay a couple $1,000s to do it. I think like they tripled the amount of money. There's like a huge wait time. Like it takes years at this point to denounce because a lot of people were doing it, and the government saw that and they're like, this isn't good. We're losing our cash cows. If we don't have our cash cows, we can't run our system. We can't have a military base in freaking Djibouti, which I think we have a military base there. Yeah, we have the Camp Lemonnier. Why do we have Camp Lemonnier? You know how much money that costs to keep Camp Lemonnier up, all those Marines? If it's a camp, there's Marines there. Why does this guy need to be there? Why does this man need to be in Djibouti? All these people. We're paying them a lot of money to be there. Why the fuck are they there? Oh, someone's going to give a strategic answer, a logical answer. We got to protect Djibouti. I don't know. It's because it's near the Middle East. That's the reason. It's because it's on this, in this little area, and we need presence near Yemen because Yemen's all messed up. That's the answer. Power projection, global security. Do you think the good people of Germany have bases anywhere else? Do you think they have bases in Djibouti? Of course not. Their tax money goes back to them. Actually, Germany's not the best example because they have a horrific immigration crisis, and most of the money is going to fake asylum seekers who are actually just economic refugees who are scamming the system. Maybe Japan's like a better example. The Japanese, they don't have many problems, do they? China's a pretty good example. Say what you want about China, but China's not getting scammed by anybody. China is scam free. Say what you want about them, but they got their shit down on lock. There's no Chinese base in Djibouti. Now, I don't know what Chinese people get from their taxes. I don't know. Damn, you've only been in Europe for 4 months and you're bad-mouthing the USA. I am a realist. I'm a brutal realist. The United States has got a lot of problems. So hopefully it can fix the problems. Now, despite me being a realist, I want the country to do well. It's just that I'm a little addicted to going to other countries and seeing how the people live. It's one of my hobbies, I guess, is seeing how these different demographics of people, their culture, all that. So now in my brain permanently, I have the Norway culture, the Norway way of living forever installed. And I think later this year, we're going to see Denmark. So that's going to be a fun thing. And then later this year, we're going to go to a few other places and see what the people look like, see how they live. Vinny says, not familiar with that one. Tyke says, I'm in Australia. Nice, you're in Australia. How's Australia doing? Iowa summer and Alaska winter, says Jill. That sounds awful, Jill. I don't know if you're trolling me. So Jill said Iowa summer. I don't know, maybe there's a lot of tornadoes then. Tornado will come spin you around. And then we'll do an Alaska winter. Fun fact, I'm actually so far north. I'm like technically in Alaska almost, if you think about it. Like, look how far north I am. I'm all the way up here. That's like that's like near Anchorage, basically. Isn't that crazy? I'm fucking far north. We're in the Nordics, baby. Max says, greetings from Miami. All right. Let's keep talking about Medellin. We're going off topic a lot tonight. We've talked a lot about Medellin. Let's talk about public transport. It doesn't have good public transport. It's a mess. Luckily, there's cheap Ubers, cheap taxis, very cheap. You take taxis everywhere. Not a problem. I've never taken a metro or something there, I think. There's a lot of hills there, so walking can be annoying, especially in El Poblado. There's these hills. But the hills allow you to build strong legs and strong muscles. That's why the people there have such strong legs. They're always walking up hills. That's why they have such good physiques. Another thing I want to talk about is there's a big fitness culture in Medellin. It's very popular. There's a lot of good gyms. The gyms are nice and modern. And they're pretty cheap. Actually, they're like the same price as the West, which is weird. Like the gym in Medellin is like the same as a gym in the US, which is kind of annoying. But anyways, big gym culture. Big bodybuilding culture. It's a very vain place. It's a very vain place where everyone's trying to kind of look smacks and have like a, like a very flashy look. 'Cause it's kind of like the Miami of South America. A lot of the guys are on test. A lot of the girls have implants. The fake bottom as well, which is kind of weird. A lot of the fake lips, a lot of plastic surgeries in Medellin. The people are look-smaxing hard, especially the girls. They're look-smaxing very hard with the hair, everything. They're going hard on it. And one of the reasons they're going so hard on it is because a lot of them are cam girls, OnlyFans type things. Maybe they have they're in the sugar daddy circuit. So looking good is very important because I don't think they have much else to offer. Put it bluntly, they don't have much else to offer. So The goal is to look smack as hard as possible. Apparently, even sometimes the parents will pay for their implants so they can make it on the campsite. So that's another category we'll get into is the girls are pretty attractive. Again, they're look smacking hard, and they genetically they have a decent look. In Medellin, they call themselves paisas, and they're proud. Paisas are very proud of who they are. They're a very extroverted type. They got more of a lighter skin tone than I think the other Colombians. So they're extroverted. They like to talk. How you spell that is called paisa. Pablo Escobar kind of had a paisa look. Why isn't it doing it right? Is that how you spell it? Paisa Medellin people. I don't know if these are paisas. It might just be Medellin people, but Pablo Escobar is like kind of a good example of a paisa. Like, he almost kind of looks like he's not like super dark, but at the same time he's not. He almost looks kind of Spanish looking. Like, he almost looks like a Spanish guy, but a little on the darker side. That's kind of a paisa. So that's like a good example. So a paisa girl can kind of look like that, I guess. They're pretty attractive, but one thing to note about Latin America in general is, like, when it comes to dating, there's a very, very strict gender rule. Like, a man is a man. The man pays, the man acts macho, the man acts masculine. A man's a man, and a woman's a woman. So as a man, you got to pay for everything. The Ubers, the food. You're paying for everything. No questions asked. A lot of the girls, I think, don't really work. If they're not doing the cam girl, they might not work. Again, it's like strong gender values. Very strong in Latin America. So keep that in mind. Total opposite of the Nordic countries, by the way. Again, total opposite. Here, it's like the genders are very, similar. They're trying to be, it's all about equality. The girls in Medellin don't want equality. They want to look hot. They want to look hot and get a sugar daddy. That's what they want in Medellin. They care about money. If you're a gringo, they see money. Now, on the topic of gringos used to have more power or be more exotic, like 10 years ago. Nowadays, it's completely burned down. There's a ton of gringos. There's a ton of gringos just coming for sex tourism and drugs, and it's totally destroyed the reputation of the gringo in Medellin to the point where I think the people are just like kind of pissed off with them. I think there were a few incidents where like some gringo dude was like a pedophile. He was like with like a 14-year-old, and he's caught in a hotel, and all the people were mad. So it's kind of open season on gringos as well. So it's not a great time to go at this point. It might never be a good time again. Maybe I was lucky and I got in 2020 and 2021 when it was like the best time to go. So, does Tinder work in Medellin? When I was there, it was pretty good. But there's a lot of bullshit again. There's a lot of cam girls, a lot of OnlyFans girls, a lot of prostitutes. That you kind of have to wade through them. And I should make a whole video on this topic. It's pretty interesting, but Basically, if a girl's attractive and right away she says, hey, text me on WhatsApp, she's not a normal girl. If she wants to give you her WhatsApp and meet up immediately and she's attractive, she's not a normal girl. She has a covert, what's the word? Covert plan. She has other obligations. Double-edged sword. She wants money. She wants money. And even worse, and this is really scary now, is on these dating apps, they're now drugging guys and stealing all their shit. There's normal girls posing, totally normal, blah, 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 talk on the app, blah, 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 get off the app, blah, 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 meet up. Totally normal girl meets the gringo and normal date, blah, 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 have a drink or whatever. Guy says, hey, let's go back to my apartment. Girl says, okay. Brings the girl back. Maybe they have another drink. At some point, she slips in a drug into the drink. Guy passes out. For like 2 days, they pass out too. The shit fucks them up. Whatever they're using fucks them up. And you know what? Sometimes the guy dies. Because, I don't know, maybe he falls asleep in a weird position. Maybe he had too much to drink, and combined with the drugs, he just dies. But usually they pass out for 2 days, and the girl steals all this shit. If there's no security in the apartment, they'll like come back with like other people and just totally take everything. And they'll clear out his credit cards and all that. Nightmare scenarios are where you get abducted. So you get abducted and they take you to the mountains and they say, hey, give us $100,000 or we're going to fucking kill you, get a ransom. That's like the nightmare scenario. That's where, when I think of those scenarios, I think maybe I shouldn't go back to Medellin and maybe I got lucky. But I was always smart on who I met. I kind of made sure they were a nice, normal girl. But I think now, even nowadays, it's open season on the gringos, so you got to be watched out for that. Now, if you're a woman, we got a bunch of women in the chat. I don't know what your experience would be like on the girl side dealing with Colombian guys. Again, they're very macho. They're masculine. But you kind of got to watch out because they're also players. That's like the big thing. They're players. They might meet you and say, I love you on the first date, which is total bullshit, But they'll play that game just to hook up with you. So you got to watch out for the Colombian guys. They're all players. Maybe they got a little swag. They're masculine, which is good. But you got to watch out for that. I don't think nightlife's that great in Medellin. Like, it's like the whole meet people thing is almost like a Western thing, like meeting people at the bar. Medellin kind of follows the whole thing where like it's all like groups of people going into places and kind of sitting at a table and dancing. I think the whole meet people thing is definitely a Western thing. I didn't go out that much in Medellin because I was scared to go out at night. I went out a few times, but I was cool just staying home on the weekend. Because if I get robbed, I'm gonna leave the country immediately. I'm gonna be like, nope, I'm done with this. Okay. Hope you guys are learning a lot of valuable information. Hello, Darwin. You in Colombia now? No, I'm not. I've lived there twice. Nice ones are usually hardest to get. Is your brother still in Colombia? Yes, he is. You think a lot of Venezuelans flee there? They do. They're streaming in. The Colombians don't like them because the Venezuelans are poor. They're on their last dime. I remember seeing all the Venezuelans at like traffic lights. They're with their kids. They'll walk into shops and try and get $1 out of you. They'll hold their baby. They're not doing well because they're refugees and they're going to Colombia, which is a third world country. Colombia's got no money for them either. It's not like Europe where you go to Germany and there's just money for you. Nope, no money in Colombia. Hello, KT. Tyke says house prices are horrific high in Australia. Yeah, because you got a billion immigrants coming in. You got packs of like 50 Indian people. They're all buying it in groups. You can't compete with that. No one can. Same thing in Canada. It's all the same. The world's globalized. The same thing's happening everywhere. The economy's propped up by mining. It's interesting. Jill will head to Puerto Rico. Tom says good night. Peter, any future plans for the States? I might come back in December. I feel like I gotta hit Miami, man. I know I was gonna do it last year. Miami's such a big place now. You know, GTA is gonna be in Miami. All the kids, all the Andrew Tate fans want to go to Miami. Miami's where the Lambos are. Miami's where well, there's actually not much sex in Miami because the pay for play in Miami is a lot of money. I think all the girls are fucked up in Miami. Like if you don't have money to blow there on them, you're getting nothing. You are getting absolutely nothing in Miami. Now Medellin is getting to be the same case, but Medellin is like 1/4 the cost. So keep that in mind. If you guys are running the sugar daddy game, I personally am not, because I feel like I'm 34. I think I look okay still. I think the sugar daddy thing becomes acceptable maybe like after 45 or 50 when it's kind of over for you in that sense. It's something I would prefer never to do. Hopefully I never go down that route. Hopefully in the next couple of years I find a woman, I get married, and I've completed the game in that sense. I've completed the woman game. That's like the happy ending. Is when you go the marriage route, or at least just have a kid with some woman and maybe you cohabitate with them. I would take that as well. Let's just have the kid. We'll live in the same house or maybe the same block away. I don't know. I will take that. That's the happy ending. The not so happy ending is, we don't find anybody, and you really have a couple options. Option A, get married, find someone happy. Option B is like you kind of give up. You throw the towel in on the woman thing. You become a hermit. Maybe you play a couple video games. You have some hobbies. That's kind of a sad option, but at the same time, it's the easiest option. It's the path of least resistance. It's sad in a way, but you're not going to get wrecked. At least you can't get divorced. You can't have your heart ripped out. You can't be disappointed over and over. You kind of just give up. You go hermit mode. Option C is, I guess, really the sugar daddy thing. Like just try and make money and then transfer that money into woman where they'll never love you and it'll be empty and soulless forever, but it's like something. So that's option C. I'm hoping we go with option A. But I'm interested in Miami. I think I could do 2 weeks in Miami and do a city review of it. Where's Mar-a-Lago? Is that nearby? Oh, it's not. It's actually kind of far. I don't know Miami at all. So here's Miami, it says. So I guess it's like, I guess all of this is technically Miami, right? Like this is like the greater Miami area, but then this is Miami proper, and then I guess like Fort Lauderdale and Boca is kind of like their own things. Like, I don't know. Looks like West Palm Beach is where Trump is. So I'm guessing West Palm Beach is nice as fuck. If it has Mar-a-Lago. The airport's so close. That's awesome, actually. That's actually sick that it's like that. Dude, Trump knows what he's doing. Trump fucking knows, dude. Look at that shit. It's like a 9-minute drive. That's so good. Hello, Papa Smurf. It's nice to see you again. You can rent his Airbnb. I bet Tom is charging top dollar. He's a New York guy. He's going to want top dollar. No discounts. I don't like using Airbnb. I only use it when it's like really easy. But using Airbnb in the US, like, I don't like that because I feel like people are buying up these properties and they're turning them into Airbnbs. They're destroying the housing market for the youth. It's like, fuck that. Like, I hopefully no one here has an Airbnb. I don't want to make anyone mad, but I'm kind of hoping for like an Airbnb crash. And of course, a bunch of people are going to be all mad. Dude, so be it. You got to let the youth have some breathing room with the housing, you know? There's got to be a let up. Japan is facing a major birth decline, a kind of a big population crisis. And to me, isn't that a fucking good thing for the housing? Like, it's almost like a loop, I feel like. Because right now in Japan, there's all these like properties you can buy for super cheap because all these old people are dying and there's no one to replace them. And I'm thinking, isn't that a good thing? That means for the younger generation, things will get cheaper again. And when things are cheap, people do more shit because they have more money and they fuck each other more. And when they fuck each other, sometimes they have kids and then the birth rate goes up. So it's almost like a pendulum swinging back and forth. Of course, in Japan, some people want to add in 1 billion immigrants to fix that problem. So much for that. Am I crazy for thinking that, though? Like, that's a good thing that, like, shouldn't everyone just want cheap housing? Like, think about what a house is. It's a bunch of wood and stone and plaster. Why should that cost so much? Need more kids to pay your Social Security. We don't need Social Security anymore. We need to start living in community-based housing. Like think about how the Indian people do it or the third world people. They live in packs, man. The first world people, we're going to have to adapt to living in big packs. The problem is everyone has that 1950s boomer mindset where the country's huge and there's unlimited land and unlimited space, unlimited housing. Those days are over. Those days are over. There's no pull yourself up from your bootstraps anymore type shit. In Canada, you're competing with a pack of like 50 Indian people in a big family. They're buying up all the shit. If you're a one person, you can't compete with that. Same thing in Australia, everywhere. Got to start working in packs again. Communal family homes. Remember there was a guy from the Philippines in the chat. I forget his name, like Ryan or something. He was here in the summer. He was like, yeah, I live at home. Whole family lives at home. Big 20 people live at home. Big pack. That's what we got to start doing, I think. If you want to raise the birth rate, just start living in packs. If you kind of like a girl, just have a kid with her. I think that's the way things are going. Time to not be picky. I will tell Tom to give you a good number. We're good friends. We'll see. West Palm Beach is different than Palm Beach where Trump lived. West Palm Beach is more middle class. Where's Palm Beach? Over here. Even hostels in Miami are near $100 a night. Oh, God. Rough. Lutra's here. I spent a day painting. I hear Burkle got it going on. Once my YouTube takes off, my money game takes off, we're going to Miami. We'll blow some money. It'll be great. Streamers in Guatemala this week, way safer than Colombia. Kids will soon inherit all of boomers' homes. Unless the boomer gives it away to like charity or the church or something. That'd be like the biggest FU to the kids. I'm not giving you nothing. I had to work for this. You got to get out there, pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. Learn the hard way. Dude, Florida's weird though. There's all this like, what is this? There's fucking alligators. I don't like that, man. I don't like alligators. I don't like snakes. I don't like spiders. That's why I like the Nordics, man. There's no weird animals up here. It's too cold for anything to survive for the winter. Fucking alligator would die up here. Snake would die. It's cold. It's cold for 9 months out of the year. It's cold and dark. Like, what is this highway? What if you break down on this highway and you get eaten by alligators, you know? Fucking pack of alligators come and rip you apart. Look at this. Florida. So we've got some chemtrails in the sky. That's nice. Some nice chemtrails. Putting some nice chemicals in the air. That's nice. Don't go to Louisiana. Thanks, you papa. Well, you got a new picture, didn't you? So you got a new picture? That's nice. Palm Beach is a barrier island. You guys, I wanted to do the road trip, but my brother didn't want to do it. Such a bitch. It would have been cool. He's always bitching. Oh, we got to live in the U.S. because we can't live in these other countries. We got to come back to the U.S. It's got to be Nashville or where else did he always like? Somewhere in North Carolina. And then the one time we have an opportunity to go, he doesn't want to fucking go. So someone said Louisiana sucks. Yeah, Louisiana does look like it sucks. Everyone's just messed up there. No one's doing well. Everyone's on their last dime. They're eating fried seed oil food. New Orleans is a mess. There's terrorist attacks. They even have a nice city, and they still mess it up. They have a beautifully designed city, and it's a disaster. All right, I think I'm done talking about Medellin. Jimmy drove that highway. How was it, Jimmy? How was the highway? Did God commune with you on that highway? Everglades City. What goes on in Everglades City? Wow. Got a church. Praise the Lord. Welcome to Everglades City, established 1923. That looks quite nice, actually. Got the boat. Got a gator. That's fucking crazy. Those things just live there. Now, are alligators good for the environment, or should we genocide them? They got these things. You got some birds you can hunt. That looks quite nice, though. We should go here. We should go to Everglades City. This place looks like the promised land. I bet dating there sucks, so there's probably no woman. This is a man city. Look where it is, though. That's kind of cool. It's just like literally in the middle of the Everglades. Oh, Papa Smurf gave $5. You're a legend, my friend. Keep it fun. I always enjoy your live streams after a long day at work. You're from Norway? I've been living in Norway. I'm from New York City, though. I'm weird. I like to experience new cultures and new countries. Thanks for supporting. All right, guys. I think we're going to end the stream. It's getting pretty late here, so hopefully you learned something about Medellin or something about my rambles, my incoherent rambles on various topics of life. So, without further ado, if anyone has any other questions, we'll sign off here. Goodbye, Lutra. Yep, everyone's leaning. Okay. Goodbye, everybody. Turn on the end, and this time we'll actually remember to turn it off in 3, 2, 1.